time no see, Chicago Bulls fans. What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we got an update around Josh Giddey because still the Bulls have yet to finalize a deal with their future point guard of the franchise. And we got an update from an NBA insider, Jake Fischer. So we'll break it all down on today's show. But you guys need to make sure to hit that subscribe button today. We're ramping up our coverage here at the Bulls Report, trying to get you guys multiple videos per week. And also, a decision for Josh Giddey needs to be made by October 1st. So we should be getting an update on this new contract within the next couple of weeks. So you guys got to make sure to hit that subscribe button today. Lock us in as your go-to Bulls YouTube channel, because once we get that news, we'll have a video for you guys ASAP. All right, let's talk about Josh Giddey here because, one, I am shocked that a deal hasn't came to fruition just yet. Both sides seem like they want a certain number, or Giddey's camp wants a certain number, the Bulls want a certain number, and they haven't been able to finalize a deal. But NBA insider Jake Fischer did give an update on the situation, saying Josh Giddey's situation is different from these other guys too, talking about Jonathan Kuminga and Cam Thomas, because they traded for him and they traded a two-time champion, Alex Caruso. They want Josh Giddey to be their point guard of the future. Unlike Golden State, the Bulls have not entertained sign and trade inquiries. They have told other teams, don't give us an offer, don't even talk trade. I don't think Josh Giddey will ultimately take the qualifying offer. Now, I do kind of disagree with what Jake Fischer said on that last part, because I think there is a scenario where Josh Giddey does take the qualifying offer. Like, if the Bulls stay put at $20 million per year, I could see Giddey saying, okay, I find that pretty disrespectful. I'll go sign the qualifying offer of $11 million, and then he's an unrestricted free agent. And if he has a good year, puts up good numbers, maybe one of the bottom feeders in the NBA could just toss him a massive deal. But right now, the Bulls have all the leverage. They should not be budging whatsoever. And there are reports out there that the Bulls do have a $20 million per year offer on the table. And even though I have crushed this Bulls front office in the past for saying that they overpay players, they trade off guys too late, if this is true, I actually totally agree with this process. Because, like I said, you have all the leverage. So why would you offer anything more than $20 million? And they shouldn't budge. Like, if Josh Giddey, if he wants to sign the qualifying offer, go for it. We'll offer you $20 million. If you turn that down, that's A-okay with me. Because Josh Giddey, yes, he was awesome post All-Star break last year. But we also still know the red flags of his game. And, post All-Star break, it's a pretty limited sample size. Like, it's 19 games of some pretty meaningless regular season basketball. And plus, we've seen, like, just the difference between regular season hoops and postseason hoops. We still have a big question mark if Josh Giddey can be impactful in the postseason. But you even look at his numbers before the All-Star break. Are you paying that $25 million? And, the question also is, like, and we'll get to that later, but the Bulls, like, should they pay $25 million per year for a guy who averages 18, 9, and 9? And that's being generous with Josh Giddey. That's assuming he is who he was post All-Star break, and he's a guy generating 9 assists a game. He's hitting the glass well for a point guard. He's putting up around 18 points a game, but also he can't shoot the ball. He can't create for himself. He can't defend. So would you give $25 million for a guy who averages 18, 9, and 9 and has all those red flags in his game? I personally would not. But I'll ask you guys this. How much per year are you willing to give Josh Giddey? Now, if the Bulls go up to 22, 23 million, I think that's okay, but probably 25 million is where I stop. So you guys let me know. Be the GM for me. How much per year would you give Josh Giddey? Now, a big reason why I don't want the Bulls to budge here is because there are clear red flags with Giddey's game. And I think if you look back and look at that trade with Oklahoma City Thunder, I think it was, at the end of the day, still a win-win for both ball clubs, because the Bulls got a young, promising player, which Josh Giddey still is. But OKC traded him for a reason. And that reason being, OKC, they have their superstar, they have their big three. They need complementary players around those guys. And Josh Giddey's not that. He can't play off ball. If you can't play off ball, you can't catch and shoot the three-point ball, and you can't defend, you're not a good role player. So for Josh Giddey to be successful, he almost needs to be your second, third option offensively. And if Giddey is your second, third option offensively, is that team winning a lot of games? I don't think so. And also, a huge red flag for him, and really any point guard in the modern day game. If you can't create for yourself, you can't play. Like, he can't get to any of his jump shots in the mid range, or at least just hit them at a high level. His jumper is still super slow. He's got that kind of quirky motion. He obviously, can't defend well, but he can't create for himself, and the numbers speak to that. His pull-up midi field goal percentage this past season was horrific, 24%. So if you're running a lot of those high pick and rolls, or he's beating guys off the dribble, and you can't get to that pull-up midi spot, it's going to be tough for you to be a consistent 18, 20 point a game scorer. And if you pay a guy $25 million per year, you're asking him to be just that. I understand what he does, pushing the ball in transition. I like that side of his game. But if you can't defend, you can't create for yourself, you can't play off ball, and really the only things you can do is just push it in transition, be a good playmaker. I don't know if that's worth 25 million. And that's the question. Like, because I'm sick of the Bulls obviously being in purgatory. I'm sick of where they're at. This franchise has been a joke for the last couple of seasons. And the question is, can you win a championship paying a point guard $25 million per year who can't shoot and defend? The answer is you can't. And I think a great example of this is a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are absolutely loaded. Darius Garland, their point guard, is one of the most skilled offensive players in the league, and he can shoot. Think about this. Darius Garland is significantly better than Josh Giddey, but what's his red flag in his game? He can't defend. And I think it is tough when you have a point guard who is such a liability defensively. It's tough to just create or just, get through 4 rounds of the playoffs. And yes, you can win a lot of regular season games like the Cavs just did. You can get to the play-in tournament like the Bulls did. But can you compete for championships with a guy like Josh Giddey? I don't think you can. And that's why I'll stand on it. The Bulls shouldn't budge. If Giddey signs a $23 million per year contract, I think that would be a steal. Then I would be in the build around him, because then if he's making that, price range, ideally he's like your fourth best player on your team. And Giddey as your fourth best player, I think that could work out. But again, like, he needs the ball in his hands. He needs to be a first, second option if he is going to be successful offensively. Now, maybe you make the argument, well, look at what the Indiana Pacers just did. They have a playmaking point guard who likes to push in transition, but there are levels between Tyrese Halliburton and Josh Giddey. Tyrese Halliburton was one of the most clutch players we have ever seen this past season, creating for himself. He can shoot off the dribble. Josh Giddey can't. So the Bulls, at the end of the day, they cannot budge on this. If they cave in and they give this guy $30 million per year, it's just going to be a joke, and the Bulls will remain in purgatory because Giddey's good enough to win you 30-plus basketball games per season with Buzelis, with the guys around him. But are we just okay with being a play-in tournament team? Personally, I'm not. I hope you guys aren't. You guys are sick of it. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, we appreciate you. Just hit me with a C-Red down below in the comment section. And like I said, October 1st is the deadline for this contract. If that deadline comes and he hasn't signed it, he's going to sign that qualifying offer and probably leave next year in free agency. So if you guys made it to the end, hit me with a C-Red, and also hit me up on Twitter. If you guys want anything more around your Chicago Bulls, that's the handle right there at Pat Sieps. We'll see you guys next time. Go Bulls.